Okay, so I'm just going to give you a walkthrough of my level. It's an infiltration of a compound to take out a guerrilla warfare leader. You're going to spawn in the sewers. Directly in front of you, you're going to spot this highest spotlight where there's an enemy. What I would have liked to have done, I would have liked to model like a parachute, so there'd been an airdrop in with a weapon for the player to take out the target. Um, they would see this and that would be their point of interest to head towards. So if I start moving, this car provides cover. These searchlights will be moving across the street. You will time your window and you will head across the street and into the compound through here. I would have liked to have put a crouch in, but I was having a bit of trouble programming that, so please excuse the running. It should really be stealth. This enemy obviously will be looking the other way. You're not going to really want to engage with anyone at this point because you only have a sidearm, a suppressed pistol. So you're going to head towards, all this is blocked off. You have two options there, down this route to a generator, or up the stairs. Now realistically you could go about it two ways, but the player will push up the stairs. He will see two enemy NPCs talking about the power keeps shorting and going out, so it's something to do with the faulty generator, which I just mentioned a second ago. So the player will push back down, head to the generator, turn the generator off, which will kill the lights inside the building and force the enemy NPCs to come out. With this secondary route, the player will be able to watch them till they leave the room and safely enter the room with no enemies inside. They will have pushed down these stairs and back out. So once the player's in this room, he has a line of sight. The yellow NPC is the main target who he's supposed to be assassinating. So we'll head up to the roof. Bearing in mind we're still being covert at this point, and we will start a jumping section. So the player will jump. There'll be a player down here. He could be using the lavatory, something along them lines. And this swinging light will be swinging towards the hole, showcasing that the player is supposed to head through this direction. Now there is another jump. If the player fails this jump, there is a jumping puzzle to get them back up. So that's just the jump, but if they did fail it, they would fall into that section and they can work their way back up to these stairs. So heading up the stairs, we come to the top. This table is providing cover and there is an enemy investigating the supply drop that has been dropped with your weapon in. So he's trying to open it, so you're going to sneak up behind him and you're going to take this guy out. Once he's taken out, you can take your weapon from here and you will set up what is already set up here, a tripod. Now this tripod, once he's got it in line, he'll get ready to take his shot. At this point, the doors will open on the mosque and our green NPC below, a person of interest, will come out of the mosque and talk to the leader. You will receive in-game confirmation from your team not to take the shot because this person of interest is more important. So you will wait to see the interaction between the two. Once these two interact, the execution will take place, which you will witness. The leader is performing an execution in the square. Sorry, I didn't verify that very well. He's performing an execution. You will have to watch the execution go down, and then the leader in yellow and the person of interest in green will head back into the mosque. Now your objective will be to pursue them and follow them. So you can jump across onto this billboard and run across here, and you will drop down onto this ledge, and they will by this point entered the mosque. So you will jump and land through this shell hole where it's been hit by a missile or a bomb has destroyed the roof, and you will come in. Now the NPCs will be progressing through the bottom floor. You will still be in stealth covert and you have the option to come in. The doors will shut behind them. So you can come across these broken railings and use them to navigate. Below, you will be able to see um, the commander is obtaining a lab coat. So he's getting an outfit from the wardrobe, and the other person of interest we've now established also has a lab coat on. So he could be some form of scientist. Excuse me. He's pressing a button under a desk, which brings up this hidden elevator through the floor. So once the person of interest and the target have got their lab coats on, they're going to go down the elevator, and that will allow the player to safely progress down and head over towards the hidden button. But the player wants to keep his presence unknown, so he's going to try and keep incognito, quite similar to the Hitman games. So he's going to take an outfit from the wardrobe and be dressed as a scientist in his lab coat to not raise suspicion to whatever is below. No clues there. So once he presses the button, the elevator will come back up, and he can enter the elevator, press the button, and he will be pulled down into this underground hidden laboratory. So from here, we can see that even though above was a war zone and it was in ruins, there's this really high-tech facility hiding underneath. So it's almost hiding in plain sight. Inside this facility, they're manufacturing nuclear weapons and chemical weapons. So the player pushes in. You can see there's a giant nuke in the middle, and there's lots of other rockets and stuff around the facility. There's a main bridge here, but that is blocked off and completely sealed by these doors, and there's no way of the player accessing or getting along that bridge. Plus, there's a lot of enemies, and you're trying to stay incognito, so you don't want to raise suspicion. The person of interest, who we established is now a scientist, can be seen in the control room where the red lighting is behind the rocket. So that's where we want to get to eventually, because now our task has changed. We have two tasks. We have to, one, eliminate the target in yellow, the orange target, sorry, and we have to obviously investigate that control room. And we've received orders that this facility, nothing under here can see the light of day. We have to destroy the facility. So the player is pushed down this route. If we look to the right, we can see there's a lot going on. There's people working, scientists working on the control panels, and there's a guard looking down, watching over them. So the player doesn't really want to head in that direction because they're going to raise suspicion. So they're going to head this way. Inside here, there's going to be a small workshop where people are working on plutonium, creating bombs, stuff like that. And the player is going to interact with one of the NPC scientists. He's going to inform him that the target he originally came to assassinate, the guerrilla warfare commander, is in his office above, located directly behind the player. You can see the light through the window, and that he does not want to be disturbed, and to stay out of his way because he's got a bit of a testy temper. So the player now will be asked by the NPC to help him build whatever he's working on, and he needs some parts from upstairs. So the player will head upstairs to obtain the parts, which obviously he's not going to. He's going to head for his target. So once we hit the roof, the parts that he was supposed to collect are up here, but we have this glass roof. One of the panes is slightly open, and we can see access to drop down on the commander. So we're going to drop down stealthily without blowing our cover, and we're going to take him out. Just a quick neck snap, and we won't raise any alarms. The enemy located on the bridge, he won't be able to see because the wall is blocking, and we can lie him under the desk. Now the commander, that's our first objective completed. He has like a master key for the facility. We take this key and we can progress down this corridor that is displayed by the light. We know that we have to head in this direction. So there's a little control panel. Plug in our master key and that drops down. And as we get halfway down, the other tunnel starts opening and we can start to see a path form into that control room. So if we have a quick look out, we just know, get our bearings, the rocket's there, the enemies are there. They may be patrolling along that walkway backwards and forwards. So now we're going to head towards the control room. This is just a small workstation where if there was a nuclear launch, you'd have people working on computers and stuff. So we'll head up and here we enter the main control room. As you can see, the lights are red at this moment in time. Originally they wouldn't be. With what I explain next, they'll make sense. I didn't know how to program them to change colours, so that's something I'd like to learn. But here's our target, second target, our person of interest, the scientist. We're going to bully him into getting some information about how to set the reactor to explode and to destroy the facility and send it into like a cleanse to destroy everything. So once we've got the information we need from him, we're going to take him out and we're going to set the reactor to explode and the facility to destroy itself. At this point, the lights would be red, as I mentioned earlier, and everyone is on high alert. So we head to this door, we're going to extract. These enemies are now pushing and running. They're trying to get out the facility and also get to the control room to see what the hell's going on. So we need to get out of here quick. We can see this red light flashing, and if we head to the top of the stairs, a gate starts to come up. This entrance is completely blocked by enemies, so we're not going to head back that way. We're going to go through this door. So we start heading up this extraction tunnel, and if we have provided cover in here, the enemies will be pursuing the player, and he will have to fight in cover-based combat to keep them off his back. So as he makes his way up the tunnel, fighting the enemies as they push behind him, he will get to near the extraction gate. His team will radio in and inform him that there's a heavy firefight going on outside and that he has to bunker down and hold out and fight off the enemies till they clear the extraction route. So the player will be engaged in combat with the enemies behind until he is informed he can progress. Once he's informed he can progress, we will come out and we will see all these dead enemies and we'll have our extraction team with a helo waiting for us. The building central is modelled off like an embassy because I was trying to think about something with a flat roof where you could get a helicopter on it in guerrilla warfare sort of style, because you're not going to have a military helipad. We're going to need just a large building where a helicopter would be able to land. So the player is going to progress across the street. His fellow team member is going to inform him, say, we need to get out of here before that compound explodes. The player is going to run. They will cover fire and shoot any enemies that leave from the tunnel. So we're going to head up to the extraction. So we get up to the extraction and we can see our helos waiting for us. And just as we're about to exit, we get hit with another wow moment, that even though the compound underground, the laboratory, is going to explode, to our shock, a missile still launches anyway, which could lead on nicely to the next mission. Maybe someone has to stop that from reaching its destination in fighter jets, something along them lines. Bit of Call of Duty style, Metal Gear Solid. And now we just want to get out, so we'll jump into our helicopter and we extract. That was my level. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I didn't stutter or mumble too much. Thank you.